The European medieval period has always been a time of fascination, especially in games. This era inspired some of the best low fantasy romps and strategy games that have remained classics for generations. With that in mind, I made this video of the best medieval games you can play. An open-world RPG masterpiece, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt immerses players in the richly detailed and expansive world of Geralt of Rivia, a grizzled monster hunter known as a Witcher. The narrative follows Geralt on his quest to find his adopted daughter, Ciri, who is pursued by the otherworldly and menacing Wild Hunt. This game is celebrated for its vast, immersive world that spans lush forests, bustling cities, and desolate wastelands, each teeming with life and danger. Its complex narrative, filled with morally ambiguous choices and deep character development, have set new standards in video game storytelling. The world is heavily inspired by Slavic mythology, featuring folklore creatures like drowners and less hens, and mythical landscapes that capture the imagination. A particularly fascinating aspect is the in-game card game, Gwent, which became so beloved by fans that it was later developed into a standalone title, illustrating the depth and attention to detail that pervade the game. Set in the medieval kingdom of Bohemia, Kingdom Come, Deliverance is a highly realistic RPG that emphasizes historical accuracy and meticulous detail, transporting players to the early 15th century. Players step into the shoes of Henry, the son of a blacksmith, who embarks on a deeply personal quest for revenge after his village is destroyed by marauders amidst a civil war. The game is renowned for its commitment to realism, including historically accurate combat mechanics that require precise timing and skill, and lifelike portrayals of medieval society, from peasant life to the complexities of feudal politics. One of the game's unique features is its alchemy system, which allows players to brew potions using authentic medieval recipes, involving a detailed process that requires patience and precision, mirroring the challenges and intricacies of real-life alchemy. Assassin's Creed Unity takes players to the heart of the French Revolution, a time of social and political upheaval. As Arnaud Dorian, a young man who becomes an assassin to avenge his father's death, players navigate the perilous streets of Paris, filled with revolutionary fervor. The game is lauded for its meticulous recreation of Paris, featuring iconic landmarks like Notre Dame Cathedral rendered in stunning detail. Unity introduced a robust parkour system and cooperative multiplayer missions, allowing players to experience revolutionary France with friends. A fascinating detail is the game's use of historical figures, such as Napoleon Bonaparte and the Marquis de Sade, blending real history with the franchise's rich lore. Medieval Dynasty combines survival, role-playing, and city-building elements, offering a unique blend of genres. Players start as a young man who flees war and seeks to establish a new life in the medieval wilderness. The game involves gathering resources, building a village, and managing its inhabitants, all while ensuring survival against the elements and wild animals. What sets this game apart is its realistic portrayal of medieval life, from farming and crafting to social dynamics and family legacy. A curious aspect is how it incorporates real medieval techniques and tools, teaching players about historical methods of construction, agriculture, and governance through engaging gameplay. From the creators of Dark Souls and George R.R. Martin, Elden Ring is a highly anticipated action RPG that promises a vast, interconnected world filled with lore and mystery. Players explore the lands between, a world shattered by the destruction of the titular Elden Ring, and face formidable foes and ancient secrets. Known for its challenging combat and intricate level design, Elden Ring expands on the dark fantasy themes with an open world that encourages exploration and discovery. An intriguing detail is the collaboration with George R.R. Martin, who helped craft the game's mythos, blending his talent for storytelling with the immersive, punishing gameplay that fans of From Software's titles adore. Mount & Blade 2, Bannerlord is a medieval action RPG and strategy hybrid, offering an expansive sandbox experience where players can build their legacy through warfare, trade, and diplomacy. Set in the fictional continent of Colradia, players can engage in large-scale battles, manage their own fiefdom, and influence the political landscape. The game is praised for its realistic combat system, including siege warfare and mounted combat, providing a gritty, immersive experience. One interesting feature is the dynamic economy, where the player's actions can significantly impact trade routes and the prosperity of cities, adding a layer of strategic depth to the game. Outward is a survival RPG that emphasizes the challenges of exploration and adventuring in a harsh, unforgiving world. Players are not heroes but ordinary adventurers who must manage basic needs like hunger, thirst, and exhaustion while navigating a dangerous landscape filled with monsters and magic. The game is notable for its emphasis on realism, such as the need to prepare for journeys by packing the right equipment and planning routes. A unique aspect is its split-screen co-op mode, allowing two players to experience the adventure together, which is rare in modern RPGs and adds a layer of camaraderie and shared challenge. Ghost of Tsushima transports players to feudal Japan during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima Island. As Jin Sakai, a samurai who must adapt to unconventional tactics to repel the invaders, players experience a beautifully crafted open world inspired by Japanese art and culture. The game is acclaimed for its stunning visuals, fluid combat, and deep respect for Japanese history and aesthetics. An interesting detail is the inclusion of a Kurosawa mode, a black and white filter that pays homage to legendary filmmaker Akira Kurosawa, providing a cinematic experience reminiscent of classic samurai films. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim is a legendary open-world RPG that offers unparalleled freedom and exploration in the fantasy world of Tamriel. Players assume the role of the Dragonborn, a hero prophesied to save the world from the return of dragons. Skyrim is renowned for its vast, immersive world filled with diverse landscapes, from snowy mountains to lush forests, and its rich lore and countless quests. A fascinating feature is the game's modding community, which has created thousands of mods that enhance and expand the game, keeping it fresh and relevant years after its original release. Crusader Kings III is a grand strategy game that focuses on dynastic politics, intrigue, and conquest during the medieval period. Players control a noble house, managing relationships, marriages, and power struggles across generations. The game is praised for its deep, complex mechanics that blend role-playing with strategic governance, allowing for endless replayability. An intriguing aspect is its focus on character traits and personal relationships, where the personalities and decisions of individual characters can dramatically alter the course of history, leading to unpredictable and dynamic gameplay. Kingdoms and Castles is a charming city-building game where players construct and manage a medieval kingdom. Starting with a small village, players must expand their settlements, defend against Viking invasions, and ensure the happiness of their citizens. The game is notable for its accessible yet deep mechanics, striking a balance between strategy and creativity. A curious feature is the dynamic environment, where seasons change and natural disasters can strike, adding challenges that require careful planning and adaptability. Total War: Medieval 2 is a classic strategy game that combines turn-based empire management with real-time tactical battles. Set during the medieval era, players control one of several factions, managing everything from diplomacy and economy to military campaigns and castle sieges. The game is praised for its historical depth and strategic complexity, offering a richly detailed recreation of medieval warfare and politics. An interesting aspect is the game's detailed unit animations and diverse faction rosters, providing a varied and immersive experience of medieval combat. Age of Empires 4 revitalizes the classic real-time strategy series, offering a rich historical experience that spans multiple civilizations and eras. Players gather resources, build cities, and command armies to achieve victory. The game is noted for its deep historical campaigns, which are narrated with documentary-style storytelling, bringing history to life through gameplay. A unique feature is the asymmetrical balance between civilizations, each with distinct units, technologies, and playstyles, encouraging diverse strategies and replayability. For Honor is an action-packed melee combat game set in a fantasy world where knights, samurai, Vikings, and other warriors clash in brutal battles. Players can choose from various hero classes, each with unique skills and fighting styles, engaging in intense, skill-based combat. The game is known for its innovative combat system, the Art of Battle, which emphasizes precision and timing. An intriguing aspect is the game's dynamic faction war, where players' victories and losses contribute to a persistent online conflict that affects the global standings of each faction. Wartales is an open-world RPG that blends tactical combat with survival and management elements. Players lead a band of mercenaries through a medieval world ravaged by war and plague, taking on contracts, battling enemies, and managing resources. The game is praised for its gritty, immersive atmosphere and challenging gameplay that requires careful planning and strategy. A notable feature is the game's evolving world, where player choices and actions can have lasting consequences, shaping the story and the fate of their mercenary group. Chivalry 2 is a multiplayer-focused hack-and-slash game that recreates the chaos and brutality of medieval battles. Players engage in large-scale, objective-based battles, using a variety of weapons and tactics to crush their opponents. The game is celebrated for its visceral combat, realistic physics, and dark humor, capturing the gritty and often absurd nature of medieval warfare. An interesting detail is the game's emphasis on cinematic moments, allowing players to perform dramatic actions like decapitating enemies or launching themselves from catapults. The Guild 3 is a life simulation and economic strategy game set in medieval Europe. Players build and manage a family dynasty, engaging in trade, politics, and social maneuvering to rise to power. The game is known for its deep, complex systems that simulate the intricacies of medieval life, from managing businesses to navigating social hierarchies. A unique aspect is the game's focus on generational gameplay, where players must ensure the prosperity and continuity of their family across multiple generations. A Plague Tale, Requiem continues the story of Amicia and her brother Hugo as they navigate a world ravaged by the Black Death. This action-adventure game combines stealth, puzzle solving, and emotional storytelling as the siblings struggle to survive against both human and supernatural threats. The game is praised for its atmospheric visuals, gripping narrative, and deep character development. An intriguing feature is the portrayal of historical and mythical elements, blending the horrors of the plague with dark, fantastical themes. Knights of Honor 2, Sovereign is a grand strategy game that puts players in control of a medieval kingdom. Players manage everything from military conquests and economic development to diplomacy and espionage. The game is noted for its accessible yet deep mechanics, providing a rich strategic experience without overwhelming complexity. A fascinating aspect is the dynamic world, where AI-controlled factions pursue their own goals and strategies, creating a living, breathing medieval landscape that reacts to the player's actions. Mordhau is a multiplayer medieval melee game that emphasizes skill-based combat and realistic physics. Players engage in large-scale battles, utilizing a variety of weapons and tactics to defeat their opponents. The game is renowned for its detailed combat system, which allows for precise control over attacks and blocks, making each encounter intensely tactical. A unique feature is the game's extensive customization options, enabling players to create their own unique warriors with distinctive appearances and combat styles. Conqueror's Blade is an MMO that blends action, strategy, and RPG elements. Players take on the role of warlords, commanding armies in large-scale battles while managing their territories and alliances. The game is praised for its epic battles, where players can control both their character and their troops, creating a dynamic and immersive experience. An interesting detail is the historical inspiration behind the game's units and tactics, drawing from various cultures and periods to create a diverse and strategic battlefield. The Lords of the Fallen is an action RPG set in a dark fantasy world, where players assume the role of a warrior on a quest to defeat a powerful, fallen god. The game is known for its challenging combat, intricate level design, and atmospheric environments. A notable feature is the game's risk-reward system, where players can bank experience points at checkpoints or risk losing them by pushing forward to gain greater rewards, adding a strategic layer to progression. Anvil Empires is an upcoming large-scale MMO that focuses on medieval warfare and kingdom building. Players can engage in massive battles, construct fortresses, and manage resources in a persistent world. The game aims to create a realistic and immersive medieval experience, with complex systems for combat, economy, and diplomacy. A fascinating aspect is the emphasis on player-driven narratives, where the actions and decisions of players shape the world and its history. Chrono Odyssey is a fantasy MMORPG that promises a vast, dynamic world filled with adventure and discovery. Players can explore diverse landscapes, battle formidable monsters, and uncover the secrets of the game's rich lore. The game is noted for its stunning visuals, intricate combat system, and expansive world building. An intriguing feature is the time manipulation mechanic, allowing players to alter the flow of time to solve puzzles and gain strategic advantages in combat. Crimson Desert is an open-world action-adventure game set in a war-torn fantasy world. Players take on the role of mercenaries navigating a harsh and unforgiving landscape filled with political intrigue and brutal combat. The game is praised for its realistic graphics, dynamic weather systems, and immersive storytelling. A unique aspect is the game's focus on the harsh realities of survival and warfare, depicting the struggles and sacrifices of mercenaries in a world rife with conflict. Kinstrife is an upcoming RPG that focuses on medieval intrigue and warfare. Players will navigate a world of shifting alliances and power struggles, using diplomacy, combat, and strategy to achieve their goals. The game promises deep, character-driven storytelling in a richly detailed world. An interesting feature is the emphasis on player choice, where decisions can have far-reaching consequences, shaping the world and the fate of its inhabitants. Enotria, The Last Song is an action RPG set in a fantasy world inspired by Italian folklore. Players will explore a vibrant, handcrafted world, battling mythical creatures and uncovering ancient secrets. The game is noted for its unique art style, blending traditional Italian aesthetics with fantastical elements. A curious aspect is the incorporation of musical themes, where players can use songs and melodies to influence the world and combat, adding a creative twist to traditional RPG mechanics. Dragon Age: Dreadwolf is the latest installment in the acclaimed Dragon Age series, continuing the epic fantasy saga with new characters, stories, and lands to explore. Players will navigate a world on the brink of chaos, facing moral dilemmas and forging alliances to confront a powerful enemy. The game is known for its deep narrative, complex character relationships, and richly detailed world. A notable feature is the return of fan-favorite characters and the expansion of the series' lore, promising a compelling continuation of the Dragon Age story. Mirthwood is an indie RPG that blends elements of fantasy and survival. Players will explore a magical forest, crafting tools and building shelters while uncovering the secrets of the enchanted land. The game is praised for its charming art style and atmospheric world, creating a captivating experience for players. A unique aspect is the game's emphasis on community and cooperation, where players can form alliances and work together to overcome challenges and thrive in the mystical wilderness. No Rest for the Wicked is an upcoming RPG that combines elements of dark fantasy and horror. Players will navigate a nightmarish world filled with grotesque creatures and twisted landscapes, battling to survive and uncover the truth behind the darkness. The game promises intense, strategic combat and a gripping narrative. An interesting detail is the game's use of psychological horror elements, creating a tense and immersive atmosphere that keeps players on edge. Senua's Saga: Hellblade 2 is the highly anticipated sequel to the critically acclaimed Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. The game continues the journey of Senua, a warrior struggling with mental illness, as she ventures deeper into a hauntingly beautiful yet terrifying world inspired by Norse mythology. The game is celebrated for its stunning visuals, immersive sound design, and sensitive portrayal of mental health issues. A fascinating aspect is the game's use of binaural audio, creating a deeply personal and unsettling auditory experience that reflects Senua's inner turmoil. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me, and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. Thank you very much for following me this far, and until next time, bye.